Says the event is starting.
Mm-hmm.
Nice. And I think we are officially live because this thing says we're live.
Holy crap.
Yeah, I know, right? It's Wednesday, though. It's Wednesday, and we're here. We're live. As you all shuffle in, if you would be so kind to hit the like button and go ahead and share it out, all that kind of good stuff. We are live. I just checked the live stream. Yeah, it's a little bit weird, but this is what we got to do.
It's great to hear Crap with something new because like it brings me back to when I first started watching Crap's channel, and you can hear a little bit of nervousness in his voice or whatnot. Dude, you're doing something new. You're stepping up, man. You are a big YouTuber now. Using OBS.
Well, I'm not. It's Sully, and Sully can't talk, or else we get an echo. But yes, thanks to Sully. Now he did show me how to do the Hangouts, and I can get my cell phone there. I'm still working on getting everybody else in, but in the meantime, I was like, hey, we can still do the show. So as you guys join, like, share it out, all that kind of good stuff. Appreciate it. As we get started now, Mooch is on a very special assignment. He's talking to the higher ups to convince people that video games do not cause violence. So we wish him well with his endeavor while he's on assignment. We're not sure what's going on there or when he'll be back next week for sure, but we'll have to ask him how it went. But he is tracking down people and definitely gonna find out what's going on with all that. But we do got Xbot here. What's going on, Xbot? What have you been playing, bro?
Dude, it feels weird not to hear like Mooch and then have Mooch go in with his games and everything like that. Yo, shout out to our brother Mooch. I can't wait to have him back on. But yes, guys. It is Wednesday night. Crap, you asked me what I've been playing?
Yeah, what have you been playing? What kind of games, man? What have you been playing?
Mostly, lately, I've gotten addicted to golf, man. I've been playing golf. The golf club. I've been playing that hardcore for the last few days, man. I just learned exactly what the swing mechanics are and everything like that. You don't like golf, Crap?
No. No, I'm not a golfer.
Ah, damn. I guess only the people out there who like golf games. Everybody in the chat, if you like golf games, like good golf games, hit a number 1. I want to see this real quick. But yeah, now I've been having a blast playing golf, and I've been on that Destiny 2 grind, man, trying to get that Solstice gear, so this way I'm not left hanging when Shadowkeep comes out, and I get that newer version of armor. So that's what I've been doing, man.
That's pretty cool, man. I don't know what any of that stuff is with Destiny.
I know. But, I can speak a different language on that one, man.
You know, but I used to play this game called Hot Shots Golf. I don't know if you remember that, but that used to be a really good golf game.
Another great game.
Yeah, I have it like on PSP and stuff like that. I think they renamed it or something. But yeah,
everyone's golf.
Everyone's golf. Yes. So those are pretty cool games. And you know what? I'm gonna keep going on. We've got Knox. What's going on, Knox? How you doing, man? Thanks for joining us.
Oh, man. Pretty good. Pretty neat, brother.
You sound tired.
Oh, man. No, man. I don't know what the hell's going on with my ankle, man. I got like a swollen ankle out of nowhere. It's like if I sprained it, but I didn't. Unless I did it in my sleep, but I didn't.
Yo, Knox, you know what it was? You saw that new limited edition Gears 5 console. You jumped up in the air. You landed awkwardly on your ankle. You sprained your ankle because of Gears 5, man.
Hey, I'm gonna go into a deep story, probably too much information story with how you can sprain your ankle. I don't know if you're married or what your masturbatory tendencies are, but sometimes you can sprain your ankle in the midst of that. I'm just saying it's happened, man. I'm like, they're like, why you sprain your ankle? How'd you do it? And I'm like, I don't know. And then I'm thinking, oh, I know. You know what I'm just saying, Knox. It happens. It happens. You don't got to be shy about that. So
I wasn't in either of those situations.
Orgasm week or something like that. So maybe that's what happened.
Yeah. So but pretty good, pretty neat. Glad to have you here, man. Take some ibuprofen, about 4 of them things, and you'll be all right. We also got Predator here. What's going on?
Shit off. Not much.
Walk it off. Yes.
I like how after I lose gameplay using a game, everybody else on the panel plays that game and wins gameplay using that same gameplay.
I voted Fred.
So don't use golf this week. I'm saying.
Dude, I got crazy golf highlights, man. We're going in.
Well, I mean,
I'm not playing much of anything, man. I've been playing a little bit of Division, and that's it. Some NCAA football, Division? Some Madden. That's it.
Man, that's nothing great, man. Madden. How's that?
It's all right. I like it. I like beating up on K-Maker's team with my team, so it's pretty cool.
Interesting. I like hearing that. We also got guesting. We got J-Dub's Kratos. How you doing, man? What's going on?
What's going on, man? Been good.
What are you gaming on, man? What are you playing?
On some Madden. I've been playing a little bit of the Switch on PC with some Insurgency, Sandstorm, and on some VR.
Oh, VR, man. That's like my thing right there, man. I love VR.
You gotta try Everyone's Golf.
Oh, I'll have to try it, man.
Everyone's Golf in VR.
In VR, yeah.
Is it on the PC as well, or is it just on PlayStation?
It's exclusive to the PlayStation.
Exclusive, of course. Like what is it?
You know the reason those hundreds of millions of people buy consoles.
But then they end up playing Call of Duty 90% of the time. So anyway, moving on, man.
Well, listen, Call of Duty is going to be good this year, I think. As long as
this year, but it didn't come out yet this year, so they haven't played it.
They're displaying it on the PS4 Pro, by the way. So all of that great footage you like about it, yeah, that's what it is.
Yeah, I mean, listen. The only part that I'm kind of iffy about is the whole situation where there's no mini map. I feel like that's really gonna sort of set up a lot of camping for that game. I don't know. Hopefully we can
more camping. That's gonna be the slogan. More camping.
Even more camping. So hopefully that's not the case, but I'm excited to kind of jump into the topics and sort of talk about what's going on. So as you guys might know, yesterday and maybe even a little bit today, Xbox Live goes down. It's gone down kind of repeatedly now, and it fails to allow people to access the content that they paid for, both video games and movies and TV. This was like an extended problem. It wasn't just something that was fixed quickly. It was like really preventing people from gaming and from watching their content. This is always like a big issue for me because I always feel like everybody's too quick to give up their rights to own their games or their movies or TVs. Like I always feel weird if I buy a digital movie. Now I don't usually buy digital movies off of Microsoft Store new when they come out. I'll usually wait for the sales or something. And the main reason I do that is because I don't trust Microsoft. I don't believe that they're going to actually, keep up with that stuff long term. And what I mean by that is Microsoft has a tendency to pull the plug on things that aren't exactly, that aren't exactly a hit right out of the gate. They did it with Groove Music. They've done it with many other things. Jay Blaze says, Xbot 4K, my favorite person on the panel. Glad you're here. Battle Turds.
Yo, Jay Blaze, just for you. Battle Toads.
Right, yeah, I mean, I'm sure a lot of people are gonna look forward to that, but not me.
I'll live stream it, man. I'm gonna live stream on my channel. Everything.
Are you? Are you
gonna watch crap?
I will watch. I promise. I'll show up there. I'll watch just to heckle you a little bit because.
Oh crap! Just to let you know, the super chat works on my channel as well. Just to let you know. Let you know, man. I'm just saying.
I'm looking forward to that. But So I'm worried about the digital content that I buy on Xbox Store. When I buy 4K Blu-rays, the reason why I do that is because it comes with a 4K Blu-ray, a regular Blu-ray, and a digital code. Yeah. So with Movies Anywhere, you can kind of watch that on there digitally as well. Anyway, but I don't trust them very much, and the fact that people can't access their stuff, that worries me tremendously, especially for the future. Yeah,
I got to ask you, was it like really people couldn't access their stuff? Because when there's a problem online, you just go into the settings, you hit play offline. And as long as it's a game that you bought and stuff like that, you can play.
You couldn't sign into anything.
All right, I was just, Jay, what's up with the? Come on, I was just asking if it was a real issue.
It went. It affected everything. Like
if you go off, if your internet drops, right? If your internet stops,
then you can still play.
We all know there's ways that you can.
It's right in the settings. It says play offline. You just click on that and play your game.
Go do that and go through all of that, especially after you're paying a ton of money.
Go through all that. You just go into settings and click play offline. It's not.
That's true, but this goes for both companies. So I'm not just pointing fingers.
Oh, I wouldn't say no. I was going right. I wasn't saying you were pointing a finger. I'm just saying you just go to settings, hit play offline. Yeah. Not that big of a deal, really, man. It's
unless it's Destiny or the Division, then you asked out.
Then that does lead to a bigger thing, and as if they're going down now, right? This is hosted by the Azure cloud servers and stuff like that. Yeah. If it goes down for them for a couple of days, then you add 100 150 million other people on those same servers, that may be a problem. I mean, what do you guys think?
You're right.
I mean,
It could be. Hold on.
I look at it this way: if I'm paying
if
for
you're
a
having
service,
issues with 40, between 18 to 40 million people in the Xbox community, then imagine adding Sony's 100 and something, and then Nintendo's 30 to 40 million people. That's, man, I don't know.
Yeah, it doesn't sound like a good thing to me, but it's one of those things where I could definitely see this be a problem, especially because they haven't even implemented their xCloud stuff or anything like that. Imagine when these things start to fail or have bad days, it's going to amplify what's going on or the issues even more. I see more people go, oh, well, maybe I'll just start doing digital again or one of those things. But for me personally, I just felt like, it's always sucks because time is like something we can never get back. We want a game. We're paying for this stuff. And when it's down and you can't access stuff you paid for. And I know what you were talking about, Xbox. Like if you game share, you can only get the games that the other person has, right?
Yeah.
Because you're the home Xbox and they're your home Xbox.
I've dealt with this.
It's not that with movies though. You know what I mean? Movies are different. Like I game share with my brother, but he doesn't have access to my movies at all. So like the fact that I couldn't access my stuff really kind of just shows you that there was some kind of big problem there. And and I'm not saying that problems don't happen because obviously it's stuff that does happen, to everything. I'm just saying for me personally, it's just one of those things where it was like bad timing because they're pushing this whole future and they got this sad edition and, they want everybody to go digital and stream and all this kind of stuff. And it doesn't seem like it's working out too well, in my opinion, so far. So
well, if you look at there are going to be hiccups, there are going to be bumps. We're dealing with technology. Technology doesn't run fluently 100% of the time, but I think if you look at it as a whole, like throughout this generation, I don't think we have too much to complain about when it comes to digital and having issues with the online networks and stuff like that. I mean, you have on Sony's side where they'll give people a heads up when they're doing maintenance on their network and all that good stuff. So it's like, when this is going on, just be prepared. You're not going to play online and stuff like that. I think this is kind of like it's the norm. You know what I'm saying? So whether you like it or, you either like it, you tolerate it, or you hate it. But I think the majority of gamers are just kind of pushing right along on this one street. You know what I'm saying?
I'll say this, like I would like to know what Microsoft's every company, especially in the server cloud business, like they have a percentage of downtime that they allow. I want to know what Microsoft's is and if they're meeting that. Like,
is there a way to find out?
I'm pretty sure there is. I have to. Now I'm thinking about it, I'll look into it. But like what their percentage is. Like, okay, out of the whole year, we're only down, 98% of the time. If we're down 2%, that's a good thing for them. Like, I don't know. I would like to know what their threshold is before I start like just hammering them. Because like even in the military, our shit goes down. You would think like the money we spend in infrastructure and stuff like that.
Get ready to push that red button, and all of a sudden, like,
but we have a threshold for having our network down. Like, okay, we can only be down a certain amount of time and have services not working for a small amount of time. And I'm curious and see what Microsoft's is.
Yeah,
compared
their SLA generally, obviously you want it down no longer than 4 hours, but in a really bad case, I mean, for example, look what happened with Sony last generation.
Yeah,
when you have stuff like that and you have to build infrastructure from scratch again, man, it could be down for about a month. That's worst case scenario.
Brother, I am so tired of hearing about PlayStation last gen with the internet and everything.
Well,
like
even
that.
this gen, at the beginning of the generation, we had the guys doing that shit.
Oh, Lizard Squad, baby.
Yeah, they knocked everything out. Like, I think
they pulled
it was Christmas time, right?
Yeah. How long was Microsoft out?
A day or so, right?
Yeah, like, and PlayStation was out like a week, I think, or some shit like that.
So, I think it was like a day or two too. So Sir X-Man goes, give it to Luca. Actually says unplug the internet and see if you can play. I don't know. Like for me personally, I saw people trying to I saw people trying to go, oh, well, you can do this or that or work around or whatever. It's like, why do you got to work around it? And then
I think I'm going to make a video on my channel just showing people in the settings where it says play offline, just so there's a visual reference of what to do. Because I think not a lot of people know about that either.
But they should know that.
Here's the problem, right? Because, I mean, think about it. A lot of guys pride themselves on multiplayer games. You know, all these multiplayer games.
Streaming,
You go
Mixer.
offline with multiplayer game like Division or Destiny 2 or something like that. What fun is? I mean, what can you do? Most of those games,
Nothing.
you can't do anything
Can't
with
do
those
shit.
games. You can't play them.
Yep.
Yeah.
This
You
is
can't-
why, you know, and I'm just gonna put this out here. PlayStation, the one and done system. This is why those single player story driven games will tide you over till the network comes back up.
Yeah, in the very rare instance when your network goes down. Yeah,
Listen,
I got
and listen, these are the two things that I want to chime in here. Number one, in all honesty, it wasn't down very long. So to their credit, they resolved the issue rather quickly because it was like what I think like a
Couple out.
3-hour thing.
Yeah.
Two,
Well,
3 hour
the
thing?
first one was 4:57 p.m. Xbox support says we've seen your reports about issues accessing your previously purchased games, movies, and TVs. We have teams working on it. We'll update you. So that was at 4:57. At 11:22, they said update incoming. We've heard from our investigative teams that there has been improvement. However, things still being worked on. As always, we'll be sure to give you another update once more. So 5 hours or so, and they were still having problems. I mean, that's and especially late into like from at 5 o'clock. I think most people, they come home, they game, probably around 7, 8 o'clock. That's when they really get into gaming. That's like peak gaming hours, and not be able to do that, man. Then you're stuck doing what, man? Like spending time with your kids or
Yeah,
your
you
wife.
don't know how many hours.
Yeah,
That's a bad thing. Crap.
Yeah, you know what I'm saying? That made it sound like, oh my god.
But
so
you also
gotta
you
begrudgingly-
gotta add in that
my
time
child.
too. You gotta add in that time too before they posted that, because like by
Yeah.
the time they get to that, like it could be like an hour or so before. So like I mean it happens. Like you're gonna get outages at some point in time, like either whether it's maintenance or just random shit. And typically if it's a server issue, they can kind of route it a different direction. But and they'll let you know ahead of time. But if it's like an unplanned outage, like something is fucked up, there's nothing they can do about that. So shit happens. Like could be a micro strike.
I'm almost gonna predict that there might be like a couple more issues like popping up here and there now until like the holiday 220, because when it comes down to it, they're doing stuff with their server farms and stuff to get ready for new hardware coming in. Even Jay said if they include like the 100 million PlayStation PlayStation owners and stuff like that, but they constantly go in and do maintenance, but there is points in time where they set up to increase kind of like the load and stuff like that. And it's usually when, the year prior to new hardware coming out and stuff like that. So there might be issues again, like down the road. And I just want to prepare people, like, it might be because they're getting ready for Scarlet, and it's not going to be exactly the same.
So you're predicting an outage between now and December 2020.
Yeah.
Just one.
No, I said a couple times. It might pop
given,
up here
though.
and
Like
there.
it's gonna happen a couple of times between now and then. Like we'll probably get one like next month.
I'm saying it's in reference to them kind of like expanding and working on getting stuff ready for like Scarlet and Xbox Live with the new hardware, because you always know there's always like new features and stuff like that when new hardware comes out that deal strictly with the online type.
Nah, man, the servers are never gonna go down ever.
Oh my goodness.
Ever.
I'm being sarcastic there, people. I can't tell.
If the services are going to go down and they know it and they're on top of it, all they need to do is schedule it, plan it, let everyone know in advance. We're going to be down from this time to this time on this day and that day, and get through it that way. Don't do this. Don't do
Bungie, man.
I mean,
I mean that's what most people do. Like that's what Sony does.
Yeah.
Microsoft has never been
outage. Sometimes it has to happen.
No, I mean, if it crashes because they weren't accounting for an issue that occurred while they were doing this maintenance, and then they thought that it would stay, they can keep it operational, and it just so happened. Okay, but that you can also put it out there, right? They like tweeting shit all the time. Tweet that shit.
That's true.
I
also have to. You kind of have
ahead.
to realize too, like when they have the maintenance or when stuff goes down, they have to take into account the many time zones. So even though, for example, us over here in the West, if they decide to pull the servers down and stuff like that, it may affect us. They may pull it down, in the wee hours of the morning. But over there, over in Europe or in Asia and stuff like that, it's It's broad daylight. It's noon. People are actually playing and stuff like that, and so they have to kind of weigh their options. Well, do we piss off these people over here? Or do we piss off these people over there? So I get it. There's no right time to pull it down, but they're gonna have to do what they have to do.
Yeah, you know what? Like, hold on. Sir X-Man says outages comes with Halo when Halo comes out. I think that's what he's saying. I would expect so. Hey, if you guys are just joining us, please hit the like button, share out the stream. I would appreciate that as well. We're special thanks to Sully for coming out here and getting here and
oh, dude, I didn't hit the thumbs up button. What is wrong with me, man?
Come on, you guys got to share it out, hit the thumbs up button, all that kind of good stuff. I would really appreciate it. Sully is kind enough to get his butt off of work and come home and scarf down some food and then help me out. So the next topic I kind of want to hit on is actually was kind of interesting, which was Microsoft, Sony, and Nintendo teaming up. It's all one big happy family here. They're actually going to require loot box odds disclosure. So it says, I'm pleased to announce this morning that Microsoft, Nintendo, and Sony have indicated to ESA a commitment to new platform policies with respect to the use of paid loot boxes in games that are developed for their platforms. Specifically, this would apply to new games and game updates that add loot box features, and it would require the disclosure of the relative rarity or probabilities of obtaining randomized virtual items in games that are available on their platforms. So what's funny
is how fucked up your chances are.
Yeah, so it's like, here's the thing. Like as far as I'm concerned, I don't really use microtransactions, but I never looked at it as gambling. First of all, gambling, you can win money. You know what I mean? This is not gambling. This is no more gambling than putting your quarter into one of those machines and spinning it, and then you get one of those little things and you pop it open.
That's
and you get
gambling,
prize. It's not gambling though. You know what I'm saying? So like, to me, it's not gambling. Yeah, like I never really had a problem with it, but it's like I they aren't. I don't like pay to win, so to speak, but I don't mind the other things for cosmetics and stuff like that. Look at this, like Bleeding Edge. That's going to be full of cosmetic things. How you think they're going to make money on that free to play game? Right? Obviously, it's going to have a ton of cosmetic things, and they want people to spend $5 for clothes and whatever.
Oh, hold on. Who said Bleeding Edge was free to play?
Well, I mean, they're going to have a ton of cosmetic stuffs in it, right?
No, I heard you slip that in there, though. You're like, free to play game. And then he just kept going, man.
I heard it should be free to play.
Could they charge?
Oh, my goodness.
Can they actually charge for that?
Yeah, they can. But if you have Game Pass,
it's $1 to play. It's $1 to play, crap.
Oh, it's $1 to play. Gotcha, man. I think they're gonna do what they did with Killer Instinct and go free to play with a character that rotates or whatever, so you can play as like a character or something. Yeah. But they want you to spend that, get the Bleeding Edge box for $20, and then you can buy your character a fancy little polka dot outfit or something.
But that's different, though. That's different because you know what you're getting. You know outright. What they're talking about are the chance rolls. You know what I mean? Like a crate that just shuffles the deck. You know what I'm saying? It's going to
for anything paid. All right, that's what it's
anything paid to disclose odds. No, they're going to disclose the odds. It's like, what are the odds of you getting this? Brother,
look into it. It's for any boxes and stuff that you actually pay money for.
That you pay money for, yes. Yeah. That you pay money for.
So a question when it comes to the engrams and Eververse, because you also, when it comes to Destiny 2, because you can also earn them by playing the game. Are they going to have to put? Are they going to have to put the odds up?
Yeah, and they're already on board. Bungie's supposedly on board, and Activision and EA. They have all these people on board to start this supposedly by the end of next year at the very least. You know what I'm saying? That's when they're really trying to roll this out. But what I'm trying to say to you guys, they're not really harping on the direct purchase. Get this gun for $5. That's not what they're talking about. Disclosing the odds of disclosing the odds of you getting of the stuff you getting from that random box. Like if you buy the random box, there's a possibility that you could get this, or this, and then it tells you the odds of getting this is 90%. The odds of getting this is 5%. You know what I'm saying?
Like the lottery. They tell you is 1 in 500 million.
Right. They gotta disclose
how fucked up the odds are of getting something that you really want.
They gotta disclose them now. They gotta tell you what are the odds of getting this, what are the odds of getting that, and they gotta put that in the game.
Yeah, I don't mind that. I just hope that what they do doesn't impact like games in the long run. You know what I mean? Like I just hope that they can continue to just make money off these things. Because I know some games kind of count on it. you know, and as long as it stays in terms of being able to just buy them as an option and not as like a pay to win scenario, I'm perfectly fine with it. So like this, I don't have a problem with at all.
They are, when it comes down to it, Sony, Microsoft, and Nintendo are just covering their ass.
Absolutely.
That's all they're doing. They all decided to do this in a uniform style.
Because they saw what Europe was doing.
Yeah, because there's different countries that are saying, this is gambling. Other countries are saying, oh no, it's not gambling. So they're like, you know what? We're gonna have one uniform, kind of like universal reasoning, or kind of like a rule going through. And this is what we're going to follow from here on out. So this way, there's no discrepancy. There's no negative feedback on, this game, it doesn't show the odds or whatever. And they're just covering their ass, basically, is what they're doing moving forward, man.
Yeah. And I understand that. I think it's smart. I just think that there's like a lot of people that hate on these things when they don't even buy them. A lot of them are just like, you don't have to use them. They're there. It's like people when they argue about achievements. I'm like, you know what? I wish the Switch had an achievement system, and they're like, why? It's stupid. And I'm like, well, if they had them and you didn't care about them, what's it matter? But if you do like them and they're there, hey, it's a bonus for you, right? So it's
the
like
feeling you get when you like pop an achievement, or I'm also guessing like a trophy or something like that. Like there's a feeling, even if you're not like an achievement hunter or a trophy hunter, like you feel like you gain something extra for doing that one thing, even if you didn't know.
When I hear that sound go off, man, I'm like, oh, what did I get? Oh shit.
Yeah, like what the hell?
I don't care for that shit either way. I could give two shits about achievements.
I like it, man. I like to play that meta game.
No, yeah, that's cool. That's cool, man. For the people that enjoy it, absolutely have it.
I don't hunt them though. That's the difference. Like I know people hunt them, but like if I happen to unlock one, I'm excited about it. But like other than that, I'm like, oh, like I see that shit pop up sometimes when my shit's sitting idle. Like you're only 5% away from this achievement. I'm like, I don't care. I don't really give a shit. But like, if I get it, I get it. If I don't, I don't. But I know some people out there, they just like they hunt them. Like they can't finish. They have to complete a game 100%, and then that DLC comes out, and they realize that they're not 100% anymore. They go back into it again and play some more.
Yeah, I understand that. I kind of want to move on. As everybody's hitting that like button and sharing it out, I appreciate it. So Phil Spencer today kind of annoyed me. He went on. Well, I mean, what else
is new, crap?
So he goes on Twitter and was responding to somebody like he normally does. He's been doing this for 5 years, and I think he's actually did 0 things that people have asked for. But he always responds the same. Somebody asked about maybe adding Ultimate Game Pass and Mixer integration, and he's like, "Thanks for the feedback. We're always listening." And he just goes on to say, like maybe we can implement this or whatever. And this reminded me, as where I'm sitting now. And you hear him and he's like, oh my gosh, did he talk to like people just like act so like they've been blessed by the Pope or something when Phil Spencer like, oh my gosh, Phil just talked to me. He said he's going to look into it. And then, years will pass and they'll never look into it. Nothing will ever get implemented.
You were the same way the first time
Phil responded to you, man. Because I bought into the snake oil salesman bit, right?
Why doesn't Phil respond to me though? That's the big question.
I have no idea.
Your wife, because she's more important than you are.
Yeah, I mean, probably.
She got boobs, man. It's
I don't think that matters to Phil, but I do think
Aaron Greenberg follows her, doesn't follow me. Gee, I wonder. No, I'm just playing. Yeah.
Well, Greenberg, I'm inventing a show called "Where in the World is Aaron Greenberg?" because he's always tweeting out. He's on vacation everywhere. Egypt. No, seriously, he's in some kind of he's kayaking or something. I saw it on Instagram. He's like literally kayak. Like this man must have 3 months of vacation. To work for Microsoft must be heaven. Because you literally don't have to put in any time at work. You can just go on vacation.
Brother, talking selfies. About that, man.
You can we will talk about this a little bit later too. You take selfies, you're at cookouts, you're at the beach, you're having a good time. There's no crunch. There you don't want to work that day? Fine, go home, take a nap. No biggie.
And development teams like Playground Games and Rare, they have done the work behind their games to keep on putting content out there, even though there's quote unquote no crunch. So when you see Playground having a couple drinks and stuff like that in a picture, I wouldn't get so upset, brother.
They aren't the only ones, man. They aren't the only ones. So hold on. Luca says, just dropping to show some love to my boys Knox. We still got a solstice it up. Bot, get at me with those raid groups, Chief. All love, fellas. I'm guessing she's talking about Destiny 2.
Yeah, you know that game that you feel is dead, brother.
Absolutely, Luke. Absolutely, we
I
got to
don't
run
think
that.
it's dead. I just don't think it's for me. But what do you guys think about Phil? Is he still selling? Is he still selling this snake oil? Like what's the deal? How do you guys feel about this when he comes out and he starts talking about this kind of stuff? Is it really like is he selling the snake oil? Is it something else?
When it comes down to it, he's the head of Xbox, right? So when you hear stuff like, "Hey, thanks for the feedback, we'll look into it," when I hear that, I think public relations. I think it's PR speak.
Yeah.
You know what I'm saying? Like there's nothing that's really gonna shift me from that. Now, if like a little while down the line, they're like, "Oh yeah, because of the community, we're putting this together with this," then it's all well and good. But I'll never back anything that sounds like PR speak to begin with. I've dealt with marketing and stuff like that. I know how to sound like you're interested in the community, but in all actuality, you're gonna kind of like follow the path that you're on already. So like to me, it doesn't really mean too much. I'm happy for the person who was like, "Oh man, he responded to me." That's all well and good. But at the end of the day, it was a real kind of like, it sounded like a real generic kind of like public relations kind of comment. You know what I'm saying?
Yeah, and I'm glad you admit that because it's funny. Like we all know the Xbox Pope. He's a good guy. He designs all these great looking like fan art designs for Xbox, and they're mostly better, pretty much 100% better than any of the stuff that Xbox comes up with themselves. And somebody tweeted to him and added Phil in there. He's like, maybe Phil will hire you on or make your designs like official or something. And then Pope was like, well, he'll never respond to me, blah, blah, blah. And then Phil did respond. Right. And it was that typical PR thing. Yeah, the community loves your designs. We love you here in Redmond, whatever. Keep up the great work. Well, it's just like just something grating about this guy now to me. And maybe it's because I'm bitter. I don't know. 5 years of no games will do that to a person.
Well, but brother, which would you rather have? Like Phil that responds on Twitter and stuff like that? Or like Yoshida, who is nowhere to be found.
Yoshida,
on social media.
Yes.
Yoshida.
I'm glad you brought it up.
I prefer Yoshida.
You never hear from Sean Layden, Yoshida, or none of those guys because
they're never around there.
They're doing what executives do. That's in the boardroom, making deals, cashing checks. And they're letting the system in the results.
Oh, Jay, you know about those checks, right,
meetings, Jay? They're letting the results show. So guess what? If I see too much of Yoshida and Sean Layden and all those guys on Twitter and just it's just a bad look. And I get it, right? I know you guys like to talk to Phil and Aaron Greenberg and Mikey Barr and stuff, but what has that given you this generation?
Nothing. I gotta be honest with you, man. I've
because they make you feel good about yourself. Oh, because
Aaron Greenberg, I gotta give Aaron Greenberg a shout out here because like he talks to Snaps and everything like that. She did a 24-hour charity for a children's hospital, and he donated an Xbox One X Scorpio edition.
Listen, Xbox, I'm gonna tell you this, right? I get all of that, right? And I'm glad that Microsoft and Sony and all these corporations, right? I'm glad that they do charitable work and they do a lot of great stuff. But I'm here to play fucking video games, bro. You can't soften my heart by doing all of that stuff, which I'm glad you're doing. But at the end of the day,
I thought it was great because at the end of the day, I mean, great. Games are games. You know what I'm saying?
You know what's greater? When I'm spending $500 for all these consoles, having some great content to show off for it, having something to show for it, that speaks louder than all the other stuff. Now I get it. Microsoft donates billions of dollars a year. All of these corporations,
well, they all do because they get a kickback at the end of the year as well, man.
Well, yeah, and I get that, but at the same time, you can't butter me up with all of that stuff. That will never supersede,
brother.
Why $500?
Hey guys, Green Hill plays. He's got some bills. He says, "Hey, Crapgamer, I'm Tim G, winner of the Smasher Xbox to win a PS4 contest. My biggest next-gen fear is lack of a huge leap in graphics. Agree? You actually got a PS4 for smashing your Xbox One? If so, congratulations. You stepped
didn't happen.
Yeah, you said your game. I would love to see pics about that. Sure, and everybody hit the like button. Listen,
Hopefully, it was your backup Xbox One, so you're able to actually play both consoles. Man.
I've got 5, but my original launch Xbox One stopped working very early on. The
only
hard
thing I
drive-
have left from that is the controller, where it
Yeah.
says day one.
Yeah, but the problem with those controllers, they don't have the 3mm or whatever that is port, so you need the adapter because they were being.
I still use the adapter to this day, even with that port.
I want to answer his question too.
Yeah,
Just
go ahead.
real quick. Like I think the huge leap in graphics is going to be there, but you're going from basically checkerboard 4K to native 4K, and with ray tracing for the most part. I think, when I got my PC and I came from my Xbox and got my PC that I built now, there was a huge leap there for me. Like, if you're just only playing on your Xbox One X and you go into the next version of the Xbox, that huge, what's huge, to you, it may be different for every person, but I think that gap may be not as big as you're expecting. You'll see, like, we might get 60, 4K 60 across the board for a
But
lot.
he said graphics. He's not talking resolution.
I know, I'm throwing it all out there at once. Like, you might see
Okay.
that leap there, but like graphically, I think developers are more in tune to getting us to maybe just a stable rate with decent looking graphics going forward. I can't say because we haven't seen anything yet, but I think near the beginning of the generation, you'll see those leaps that you're looking for. I just don't know how big they're going to be and what you're looking for, you're asking for.
All right, Pred. Now I'm just gonna kind of like piggyback off that, because from what I've seen, and again, these are just rumors and stuff like that, because when it comes to Sony and Xbox and like the specs, they've been very vague so far. I think Sony has actually been a little more detailed than Xbox when it comes to the new hardware. But with that being said, I think you're gonna see an improvement in graphics day one. Right? Day one when the hardware comes out, just merely because there is more horsepower under the hood. I think where you're really going to see a leap is when these developers get the whole ray tracing thing absolutely figured out. And I would give it like 2 to 3 years into the generation before you really see that bigger jump, because they finally got ray tracing kind of like down and implemented and everything like that. From what I'm hearing, both sides have a way of tackling ray tracing. So it's not even to say that it's if they're going to use it, but it's how they're going to use it. It's how they're going to use it. And that's going to be a big thing. And then from what I saw with the new Call of Duty and what they're doing in terms of like overall resolution and stuff, and how the certain techniques that they're using in Call of Duty, like with the new Call of Duty, you can't necessarily tell if it's 4K or anything like that. They have bits and pieces that are at different resolutions and stuff. I was watching a kind of like a breakdown of it, and a lot of developers are going to use that moving forward as well.
Per frame, it's called per frame.
Yeah, and with that. Yeah. With that, the whole, well, this is native 4K or this is checkerboard and stuff like that, that's going to be thrown out the window. And I cannot wait until that is an absolute thing of the past, because
my biggest fear with the ray tracing is how it affects frames right now. So like, when I see, the 2080 showing like the graphic comparisons on a 2080 running ray tracing versus like like a 16 something, whatever GPX, whatever it's out there now, like the GPU, the frame rates drop like dramatically. So if they can tackle that, I'm good. But like, if they can't use that right, and we're getting 30 frames with ray tracing at 1440p, I think that's a big difference. That's not really
one of the rumors on the Xbox side. And again, guys, I'm just saying rumors. Don't act like I'm saying that this is etched in stone. It's the 11th commandment or anything like that. Is there might be a dedicated core within the CPU that's just strictly for ray tracing.
I'm not even getting hyped up for that.
The hidden GPU working. The hidden GPU.
No, brother, no.
Do we got a third GPU? What, a Hawaii GPU or whatever the hell that is, right?
Hey, but I'm just messing with you, man.
I got you, brother.
You remember this whole generation, right? In the beginning, You know, and I
Secret sauce.
always throw crap and next gen under the bus for that. Hey, they was telling us it was a hidden GPU, and all it needed was a patch to, you know.
Well, you had Albert Pinello talking about on the forums, right? He was going there every day, and like, you think we're going to give up that much of a power advantage? And then it turns out he was. So I mean,
but if you look at it, when it came to the multi-plat games, and that's another thing our brother Z used to talk about.
I'll tell you that, boy.
He used to talk about multi-plat over exclusives all the time, and then next gen just did a complete 180. But when it came to multi-plats, a lot of the time, the biggest difference, whether it was a couple blades of grass in GTA, was more like 180 pixels. So it really wasn't that big of a leap. To be really honest,
here's the thing about it, right? And I'll speak back to what you were saying. When it comes to next generation, I think we're going to see a leap. But now, if we remove the barrier such as the resolution, if we move that talk or that battle off of the front line, it's all going to boil down to games. It's all going to
but that's all I wanted from the beginning.
Boil down to the content, to the exclusive content, because guess what?
Not just exclusive, man. You can't just toss off multi-plat.
Call of Duty is going to look exactly the same. Now, what's going to be the difference between, when you walk in that store with $500 or $600, you're going to say, you're going to go to GameStop, you're going to see something running on the PS5, you're going to see something running on the Xbox 2 or whatever they're going to call it.
Mm-hmm.
And that content, what you see on those screens, is going to be the difference between a buy and a no buy. It's not going to be, okay, I got Call of Duty here and I got Call of Duty there, and this one has a little bit higher resolution, that one has a little bit higher resolution.
Well, brother, it's not just that. Like when you purchase a system, and I hate when people down, and Jay, I'm not saying you're downplaying this, but when you buy a new system, there's a whole ecosystem. There's different features and stuff like that. Do you remember the first time that you realized that there was a game DVR in your system?
Yeah,
dude, it was a huge thing.
Yeah.
And then all of a sudden, it was PlayStation can stream to YouTube.
Yeah,
and that was a huge thing. I was like, man, I wish they had that over here on Xbox.
Those are always, I'm gonna tell you this, but those are always side pieces, right? Those are always side dishes to the main thing. We love features, right? The features are good to have. Even the whole, in the beginning, the whole TV features with Twitch and Snap and all that stuff was good to have. Nobody, it's not that, more the merrier, but that cannot, your side dish can never compensate for the main dish, and the main dish will always be games. Yes, I'm grateful that my PlayStation has the capability to stream to YouTube. That's a great feature, but if that feature wasn't there, I'm still there for the games, for the
So hold on, you were at PlayStation beginning of this generation for the game?
I had boot system at the very beginning.
Okay.
In any console ever, I've always
had. And I feel like when it comes down to it, I know like you and Crap, you're disappointed the last like few years or whatnot when it comes to Xbox.
Yeah.
But I feel like I look at all the signs and everything, and again, I don't feel like the future is all doom and gloom. I think they are going to have a really good launch lineup coming with Scarlet, and I can't wait. I can't wait till they unveil them, man.
Let me ask you this: what has you excited? What games have you excited for the launch for the Xbox? Day one, we know we're gonna get what?
Halo Infinite, and definitely. Forza Motorsport.
Okay.
I don't think Forza is going to be a launch game though.
Yeah, that's
I'm still on the I'm still thinking it is.
These DLC.
We're being hypothetical. We're being hypothetical.
Well,
anyway
let me just say this real quick, okay? Why I don't think it is. Not only have I heard from a couple of people that it's not, but the whole reason why it's being pushed back is to give them more time. So they didn't start working on it until this year, and those games typically had a 2-year development time. Yeah. So they're giving them extra time. So I've heard 2021 for that game. I'm just saying, like, I would be surprised.
I'll go out on a limb and I'll say that Forza Motorsports 8 will be available day one. And I'm going to tell you why. It's because this generation and even last generation, they had every single generation, the Forza has always been that launch title that they've had.
Has been there at launch. Yeah.
Yeah. And so you're right, Crap. They need more time to do that. But who knows? Phil might say, "Hey, look, we gotta have more than just Halo.
Get that crunch going."
But I mean, but that That depends how big this Halo is. That also depends how big this Gears is. You know what I'm saying?
Yeah,
Going
but
forward, we
but
still
the
have to see
trend. But check this out. We got to, all we have is to look back through the history, right?
because
This generation has shown that those games have been on a downturn and not necessarily going up. Hopefully, Gears 5 knock it out the park, get 90, get 100 Metacritic, and it revigorates the franchise.
I'm hoping.
I hope in nothing but success. I'll be there day one. But Forza, Halo, and Gears, the last iterations have scored lower than the previous. So hopefully that can stop. But if I don't know. I'm not willing to just say just yet that that's going to be the end all be all. They're going to need something more than Halo.
There was issues with some of the story elements of the games, like Halo 5 and shit like that, and people
like the walking parts where there's literally a part where you just walk.
Brother, yo, when it comes to Halo 5, what I feel happened there, I feel like they really were gonna go with Locke. Like as like the, not going between Master Chief and Locke and stuff like that. And when they started hearing, because the rumor came out that they were going with a different Spartan and stuff like that, there was this huge backlash from the Halo community. Like, how dare you not have, I don't know if you guys remember that, but it was a huge thing. And I feel like they had to kind of piece together a story that had both of them together going back and forth. I think that's what really happened with the story there.
The stories what crucified that game. You know what I'm saying?
It wasn't good.
The multiplayer was fire though.
The game had great gameplay though. I can't front on that. You know what I'm saying? It looked nice. You know what I'm saying? It was Halo, with some new shit added to it. It was cool. And the multiplayer was off the hook.
Yeah. The multiplayer was fast. It needed to do what it needed to do, right? Because so many people are stuck with that old, we got to bring back the Halo 3 gameplay. And you go back and play Halo 3, and it's like, it's the slowest game in the world. It's like two turtles.
What I'm saying is this, crap. If Microsoft jumps back in the game and comes out swinging, right? Let's say this Halo Infinite is the bee's knees.
Maybe it gets a 90, right? On meta, maybe.
Right? And then Forza drops right alongside with it.
Man, that's great.
And then if the Scarlet is the most powerful console on the market and reasonably competitively priced, Microsoft can make a big deal. You know what I'm saying?
Maybes.
that is right. Like here's
because nothing's been confirmed yet. It's all maybe.
Okay. To play devil's advocate, right? To play devil's advocate, they drop Halo, Forza, Halo and Forza, and whatever, Bleeding Edge or whatever. Let's just say those are the launch titles. And then let's say Sony drops Horizon Zero Dawn, Gran Turismo 7, and
Ghost of Tsushima. That
right?
could be a cross-gen.
That just look at, and then just look, and then The Last of Us 2, right? It's going to come out at the very tail end. With those games there, with that launch lineup, and then the launch lineup with the Xbox 2 have.
If you can only get one, you got a hell of a decision to make. More than likely, if I only had one to choose, I'd go the PS5 route.
Yeah.
What I'm saying though is I don't need to choose, so I could get both. I'm just going to be looking at what Microsoft is doing.
Yeah, that's right, Knox. That's why you work 12-hour shifts, man.
Hold on, hold on. Let me pay the bill real quick. JLGG says if Xbox and PS4 played a fictional basketball game, who would they pick as their 5 all-star lineup of exclusive games, and who would be their point guards? Oh, that's assuming we all know a lot about basketball. I would possibly say that their all-star lineup. Oh, okay. It would be hold on. It'd be The Last of Us,
Uncharted, God of War,
Horizon Zero
Dawn,
and Spider-Man. There you go. And Xbox would be Forza Horizon 3, Forza Horizon 4, Forza Horizon 2, Forza Motorsport 7, Forza Motorsport 6.
And Gears 5. I mean, Gears 4.
Maybe,
And Gears 4. And Gears 4.
Yes.
And Gears 4.
Yes.
And Gears 4.
I'm not even, yo, crap. You massacred that way beyond any repair, man.
You got Quantum Break. You got Sunset Overdrive. You got Gears of War 4. You know what I'm saying? You got Rise, Son of Rome,
Battletoads,
and Killer Instinct.
Battletoads not out yet,
or
so
Forza.
I can't.
Or any of those Forzas that Crap mentioned. So you do have something. You have something. There's always something for everybody if you're looking for the shit. You know what I'm saying?
Look, the mere fact that we have to dig way back into 2013 and 2014 looking for games on the Xbox side that kind of showed the power, and kind of enjoyable for a lot of people.
Kinda.
Rise, Son of Rome. It didn't set the world on fire. I think it was a great game. The sequel could have blew us all away, but we didn't get a sequel with that one. Quantum Break wasn't that bad. It was a decent game. I thought they could have really, if they had a sequel, they could have really blew it out the park.
Yeah. If we could have been getting one, but
Overdrive, I thoroughly enjoyed it.
Yeah. Did you beat Sunset Overdrive?
It didn't set the world on fire, but the sequel could have definitely set the world on fire.
For the sequel, all they had to do was make it co-op with the story.
Well, basically, to tell you the truth, the sequel to that ended up being freaking Spider-Man.
Yeah. Well, they took the movement assets and stuff like that, and they used it in Spider-Man,
and made them shit beautiful.
Let me pay a bill. Top Dog says if next Forza doesn't have a VR mode, I couldn't care less about it. Hey, I'm with you. I feel like VR is way past due on Xbox. More and more people are talking about VR. Hey, everybody, hit the like button. Almost 450 watching on this fine Wednesday night hump day. Yes, it's always very exciting. I want to keep the topics moving. You know what's weird? Without Mooch here, the topics move kind of fast. I don't know. Maybe that's just me.
It seems like you're pushing them forward, man. We could have been talking about that for like another 20 minutes.
I know.
It's your show, brother.
I know. Microsoft announces a new Gears of War 5 Xbox One X bundle. I was actually very impressed with this bundle. Rarely am I impressed with Microsoft. For some reason, this leaked out. I think this was going to be a Gamescom announcement, which would have been the 19th. Which, how in the world do you announce this thing 3 weeks prior to the release of the game? If they announce this bundle at E3, people get hyped up. People want to trade in their Xboxes.
Yep.
To me, what they've done is just completely killed the hype for this. I think it looks good, but again, $500. Are you in it to win it? Are you trying to do something? Take a loss on it. Put this thing at $399 and maybe sell 1 million Xbox One X.
Dude, $500. First off, you're getting laser etching. You're getting something that I personally
we got what Snake Oil Phil Jr. here with laser etching. Holy crap.
Dude, the cracks in it, you can literally
laser
feel
etching.
The crack. It's not a sticker. It's not a sticker.
I know.
Right? Hold on.
Laser etching. It's beautiful.
Not only that, when it comes to the layering of the ice and actually having like the logo underneath the ice, that's something I've never seen before with a limited edition console that's going to go out in masses like that. That's something that, when there was 1 or 2 consoles and they were giving away and they looked kind of crazy, like you had the back of Godzilla on one and stuff like that. That reminds me of that, but they're literally making those and putting them out there. I've never seen anything like that when it comes to the detail that they put into this thing.
They could have went 439 with it though. They could have went 439, 449.
Oh my goodness, you nitpickers, man! I swear to God.
Hey, no, I'm just saying that. Xbox at this point in time in the generation, right? We're at the ass end of the generation. We've been asking for theme consoles for 3 to 4 years. Now, when
a lot of these shows and people in the community out on social media, they're like, yeah, well, I'm pretty sure they're not going to do a Gears limited edition console. Where's all the hold on. Where's all the limited edition consoles? Man, we want limited edition consoles. I bet you they're not going to do a Gears one. I even said, well, they're going to give you a controller. I didn't think they were going to do a console either, right?
Kate Diaz controller.
I would hate to work for Xbox just for the fact with if you look at social media and stuff like that, people are like, man, we want our limited edition consoles. I bet you're not doing a Gears one. They're not going to do a Gears one. So you're like, man, I'm really excited. I can't wait to unveil this Gears one. You unveil the Gears one. It's like, well, it's at the tail end of a generation. We're not going to buy that. I would hate working for Xbox. I mean, trying to listen.
Okay, but check this out. We've been saying the same thing about games that rate higher than 69. We've been saying that. So we're waiting for that magical game that's not Halo, Gears, and Forza that's going to be rated.
I don't know what's up with your obsession, you guys' obsession with Metacritic, man. I swear.
It's something that we have always held as a benchmark of me with the consensus, right? The consensus says that a lot of these games are not worth $60, maybe $1, maybe $9 on Game Pass, maybe. but not $60. When you play Spider-Man, God of War, and some of these other high-end exclusives that Sony's been putting out, you can tell the quality is there, and it is worth $60.
Dude, and see, I agree. I disagree with you wholeheartedly on that because, listen, I spent the money on like Sunset Overdrive, on Quantum Break, Halo 5, Forza Horizon. I feel like I have gotten $60 worth in each and every one of those exclusives.
Let me tackle those damage control and bullshit you trying to do. Right?
Dude, I'm telling the truth, man. What are you talking about?
Fred with the hot tag. Good lord.
We're not talking about the fucking games you play. We're talking about the goddamn console. For starters, it's too fucking late. They did the same fucking thing with the Minecraft console. All right, they should have did this shit a year prior. They should have did this shit with Gears 4 when everybody was still trying to get into the Xbox division.
Yeah,
play the fucking
most people have already jumped ship, and that's
they've already jumped ship. Right? It's too late. When they announced the S and talked about the fucking Scorpio edition, they had the nerve to drop a fucking Minecraft edition. They should have did that shit a year prior to that.
Well, it's the same thing, right? Like, why not make Minecraft? I know, maybe we are not interested in Minecraft Dungeons. I actually am, but why not make that a console exclusive for a year and put some bundles out there on the S or something like that when it comes out or whatever you have at that time? But to me, you got 26.5 million consoles versus 100 million. That's an incredibly large deficit that Microsoft is facing. And, to put this out, look, next year, they've already said there's going to be another console and there's going to be a PS5 as well. For $500, I'm pretty sure that's what the next gen consoles are going to cost as well. So it doesn't make sense to me to buy an Xbox One X right now. This late,
how bad this is right now. I can go on the Xbox
you're
store right now.
To your opinion, man.
I couldn't do that with the Scorpio edition when it came out. Like, it took after about a day or two, that shit was like you could not find that motherfucker anywhere. I can get this Gears console right now. That should let you know that nobody's gonna buy this thing. There'll be, I say nobody. I don't think it's gonna sell out. I think you can pick this shit up in the store in December. It'll be out.
Some stores.
The mere fact that the majority of the people will be playing Gears 5
for $1.
Listen, for $1 or $9 for those who are who are going to yell at me. That in itself tells you everything that you need to know about where the direction is heading. And so a lot of people feel like there is really no incentive for me to shell out $500 for the hardware if I'm paying $1 for the software.
Yeah. Now you look, I get known for bad hot takes sometimes. I saw some really bad ones when this thing was announced, like Microsoft's going to win the NPD thanks to this, and I just had to laugh because Microsoft hasn't won an NPD in like years, and I think 3 years over that. Months. Yeah, and the funny thing is they didn't win the NPD when the X launched. Like, there's probably less than 1 million of these things out in the wild. And people act like these things are set. When we talk about Xbox, and then they go, "Well, it's the most powerful." The majority of the 26.5 million people that own an Xbox don't own an X. They own a S or a standard Xbox One. So they're playing games at like 642p. You know what I mean? With 22 frames per second.
No, so, brother, come on.
Oh, man. I'm telling you, man. I'm telling you.
42p. 22 frames per second.
Hold on, 642p.
Oh,
642p. Okay. Yes.
I thought that was like how many million like Xbox Ones are out in the household. I thought we're going to get down to like there's only 2 million Xbox Ones sold.
No, 26.5 million. Kevin Life says if the Gears Xbox is $500, that goes to show you what the Scarlet will cost. Yep. That's my worry too, because if they're just like so lackadaisical with the price of this thing.
Hold on, brother. First off, this is a true limited edition console, man. I'm not
right. It's limited.
Hey, they said Project Scorpio was limited, and you can still find that shit
like
everywhere.
About 6 months ago, you can still pick that motherfucker.
Exactly. So.
but check this out. When you're talking about the $500 price tag, first off, when it comes to the aesthetics, they're doing things with this limited edition console, and I think everybody can agree with that. No other limited edition console you have seen at all. When it comes to a field of depth for the design that they put into this, absolutely amazing. When it comes to hold on, I'm not even done though. When it comes to the controller as well, when it comes to
what's the name of that controller?
Of course, the Kate controller, because
The
Kate is
Diaz
the main
controller.
It's the she and
Kate controller.
crap. You're gonna have to get over this. She's the main character in Gears 5, man. It's gonna happen. All right.
I know she's their,
Is
she's their
an
Captain
elite?
Marvel.
It's not an elite, but it comes with the gripped out triggers. It comes with the grips on the back of the controller. It's very limited in terms of the design.
Does it come with cigarettes?
Madu, let me ask you this though. Let me ask you this. When have you ever seen Bot, that a year before the launch in the beginning of the next generation, a console manufacturer puts out a console at initial cost? At initial cost. That's ridiculous. If they wanted to drop that the shit looks hot. I can't front. If they're
Brother, how can the $500 mark on what you're seeing with that console, how can that grind your gears right now?
You buy one?
Because it's $500.
You buying one?
I know Scarlett's right around the corner. I have no
That's
need
what
to
I'm
buy
saying.
one.
That's what I'm saying. You don't need to buy one
That's
because
the whole
Scarlett's
thing.
But guess
that's the
what?
whole
I wasn't
point.
out there. I wasn't out there with the other groups of people. Where are the limited edition consoles? They don't do any limited edition consoles.
Then
I
those
bet
are-
you
those-
I
then
bet
those
you
are
they're
the
not going to
people
do
that
a
need to
Gears
go-
5 limited
then
edition
those are the-
console.
Those are the people that need to go buy
Yeah,
it.
but
They-
the
they-
thing about it, listen, PlayStation, Sony's been putting out theme
from the
consoles
beginning of this generation.
from day one. They've been
Talking
putting
about
out.
that shit.
They're
Always-
really great with stickers.
One
You're
at a
right,
time.
Jay.
One at a time. Break it up. Okay, somebody go.
They're really great with stickers. You are so right, Jay.
Hey,
100 million plus stickers, sir.
No, they're not all limited edition consoles that they sold, brother.
But
hey, some of
guarantee
them are etched.
You know
Let's
what's
be
funny
real.
about this? I am the one on Crossfire that was saying when the God of War console came out, I said it looked like fire. And Crap and Mooch
that thing looks
dogged the
horrible.
shit out of it, man.
I thought that
and
one
now
looked
you got
horrible.
people holding it
Listen.
up. Which one wore it better and stuff like that? And it's like, well, now when
which
you
one will
look at
sell
the
better?
entire generation,
Which one will
even
sell
though
better?
PlayStation put
PlayStation
out
4.
more limited edition consoles,
And you
when
know why
look
they
at
put
the
out? You
amount
know,
of detail and the amount of work put into them, dude. Xbox One has the better limited edition consoles, hands down.
The controller was
Hands
so
down.
good with the console.
hey, this is the only decent looking one that they have, though. That I can
Really,
think of.
the
Yeah.
Gears 4, the Gears 4S wasn't good looking.
I thought it was fine, but I just
With
thought
the
that
laser
okay. It was
etching and
just a bunch of
everything like
red.
that.
That's
it
all
was
it
okay.
was.
Yeah, like
Yeah.
it was very much like. Do you remember the Xbox 360 days?
Do you remember the Forza 10th anniversary?
It was horrible. It was blue.
How? No, it wasn't just blue. They had things going around the whole thing
Well,
that were dedicated.
that
to
original
Forza.
Xbox One, the VCR box, was very hard to really make spiffy it up. It's like you
the
taking
Halo
a
5 limited edition console.
taking a turd and shining it and going, hey, look, it's pretty now. Like it's not. It's just the
Guys.
ugliest box. Like, you know what's funny? I was watching this thing today, and it was like, and it had a link to the E3 of 2013, the moment where Sony won, where Jack Tretton is like talking about being able to share your games and no requirement for online, and the crowd reaction just tells you everything you need to know. I would love to see an Xbox crowd do something like that someday. Will we get that?
I
I
thought
don't
we were
know.
talking about consoles, man.
I
You
don't.
just
Well, we're talking
completely
about console.
switched.
Listen.
You just completely switched.
Consoles play into that. Xbox fans have been asking for theme consoles. Like J-Dubs is right. They've been asking for theme consoles for a long time. They tease us by coming out with 2 of these consoles, right? Like these Black Panther consoles. That would have been awesome, right? Why not make that for everybody? Make it limited, but at least give everybody a chance to buy one. And people like to collect this stuff. I have, you know how many 360s I have? And the ones that I have is like the Star Wars one.
Well, brother, get your
the Halo
$500 ready
one.
to get the Gears 5.
I'm not
man.
going to do that because I don't feel like they're going to.
Because
you
you
know,
don't like Kate as the main protagonist.
No, it has
let's
nothing to
be
do with
real.
Kate. I'm sure.
That-
I'm
dude,
look,
that's
look,
what
I'm
I
sure,
hear, man.
No, I'm sure that
Yo,
Gears of
you're
War 5.
laughing, dude.
Gears of War 5. I don't like this stuff being forced down my throat, to be honest with you. But I think
It's
the game
not
should be
forced, it's
all right.
what they
Well,
wanted to do,
Is
man.
it though? Is it? Hold on. Teal543 says irrelevant to the topic. New Slipknot album on Friday. So hyped. Okay.
Tool coming out with a new album as well, people.
Hey, I saw this meme today, Xbot, and that reminded me of what you just said. A new Tool album drops. 40-year-olds be running like this, and it shows a guy running. Like,
Dude,
you know what I mean?
I turned 40 in January. There
I
you
know.
go,
So
man.
like, I'm not a Tool fan, but yeah. So anyway, like we've been asking for theme consoles, we've been asking for collector's editions of games, and we haven't really gotten them. So I'm just saying, like, why not?
Why doesn't anybody look at this like, hey, a turn in the page? Like people were asking for it. It might not be the one. It might not be the one. Oh, dude! Last time I checked, there was no like Xbox is not going anywhere. So if they finally heard what you guys are saying, and they're coming out with this one, and they'll come out with more in the future, wouldn't you take that as a positive? Like, all right, here we go. We are back on track when it comes to limited edition consoles. It's a sign.
I hope so. I hope
it's a sign, man.
It is, but it's too late for this console.
Yeah.
I
Dude,
hope so.
they don't even.
Hey, they needed a Gears 5 theme Scarlet. That's what they needed.
Brother, when it comes down to it, Sony and Xbox now, they're already in holiday 2020 kind of like view. Like when it comes to the offices and everything like that.
That Stranding is yet to come, and most likely that'll have a theme console. We still have The Last of Us still to come. That'll be a theme console. Ghost of Tsushima, probably a theme console.
A lot of people.
Wait, but what theme console? But what? PS5?
No, I'm saying most likely
PS4.
No,
PS4.
But why?
It'll be too late. It'll be too late.
That'd be
no. Here's the thing, because they've been doing
It'll be too late.
The whole generation.
They've been doing it all generations.
So had that, but like twice.
Have already expected.
Yeah, but
now I'm not saying
it will be. But if you can't,
I'm saying
crucify
most likely,
Microsoft for doing it, and then
no. You didn't hear what I'm saying. Sony's been doing it since day one.
No doubt.
I'm just saying. I'm not saying that Sony will do it. I'm saying if they do it, nobody is like clockwork. They tend to take their exclusives and market that shit over the top, and it'll just be another theme console.
But how dare they put a limited edition?
We haven't had that this
PS4 out with the PS5 just around the corner. How dare they do that, man?
Hold on. I got a little bit of breaking news. Joe Hansel Villages says it's not 26.5 million consoles sold. It's 20.5. Get your facts right. Sorry, I have been schooled. 20.5. I appreciate that, man. I didn't want to put any facts that aren't facts out there. So thank you very much. Microsoft hoping to break that 21 million mark anytime now. Maybe with this Gears console, it finally will be able to do that. I don't know. But here's something I want to talk about. An Xbox. You'll probably chime in on this. So 343 says Halo Infinite is going to be great on Xbox One. Mm-hmm. Like this is my main thing. And look, I'm not a developer, but I've heard.
Do you expect them to tell you that's going to be mediocre?
No. But listen, just from what I saw at E3, it didn't look great to me. And now supposedly a high-end PC. So the fact that this thing has got to look good on the Xbox One, the S, the X, and like this wide variety of PCs and Scarlet, that could be a little bit too much, in my opinion. Is that like in your opinion? Because look, I play both PlayStation 4 Pro and Xbox One X, and I get a lot of crap when I say this, right? I've never cared about resolution. I can't tell the resolution difference when I flip back and forth between like a multi-plat on the Pro and the X. For the most part, Red Dead Redemption 2, I'll give you a couple other ones. For the most part, you're really nitpicking. You're sitting back. You're chilling. You can't really tell. They both look great. Like Tomb Raider, I picked up Tomb Raider for like $5. It's like 4K or what. I can't tell if it's. I can't remember if it's 4K or whatever on the PlayStation 4 Pro, but it looks great anyway.
Make that much of a difference,
exactly. This is what I'm saying. So to me. But games look great. Like the PlayStation exclusives really take advantage of the hardware because they're not making games for like PC specs and all these 10 different versions of consoles like Microsoft.
Well, maybe they are with Death Stranding, but that's another issue.
Maybe, but I mean, we're going to get into Death Stranding in a minute. But
yeah.
Like, does that make you worried a little bit? Can you imagine trying to boot? Like, here's my main thing. There's a large gulf, all right, and I know PCs can do this, but there is a cutoff point. The original Xbox One is 1.3 T-flops in it. Does somebody remember the name of that shitty memory that's in that, or the
ESRAM?
The ESRAM.
Embedded static
DDR3 and DDR3.
DDR3 and this ESRAM that's in there, and I like they're gonna boot up Halo Infinite and play online against people on a Scarlet, like a 14 T-flop machine. It's gonna be.
You already seeing it with Gears. I mean, with Halo. No, with Halo Reach.
Yeah. That's another topic too. Yeah, so Halo Reach.
That's a different issue, brother.
Halo Reach.
But I'm pretty sure that it could run on the X and PC.
Well, no. What's happening with Halo Reach? Like, we'll get into that. I'll let you know exactly what's happening with
because
Halo
of the
Reach.
memory, because of the shitty memory. They're finding it extremely difficult to.
In terms of the Unreal Engine 4 armor customization. Is what's going on and how many different engines are being run between Halo 1, 2, 3 and Halo Reach.
What I want to know though is can they get it running on the X and PC simultaneously? Would that be?
We'll go back. We'll go back to Halo Infinite real quick. And
Okay.
All right. Halo Infinite. Well, first off, they are going to let people know that it's going to look good on the Xbox One. You know, they want people playing it on, you know, as many platforms, you know, how as many economic demographics as there are within, you know, people who own Xbox and stuff like that. So there's people who are not going to go in and buy Scarlet day one. They're going to have this game there. They're going to be like, yeah, don't worry about it. It's going to run good. I don't have any issues when it comes to what you saw from the trailer. Let's be honest. Like, what you saw was inside a closed cabin of a small ship. All right. So a lot of the lighting and everything like that, the color palette was a lot softer than what people are normally used to when it comes to Halo. But when you think about when Master Chief touches down on that ring, think more about that engine demonstration and the open world and stuff like that.
I'm sorry, but I can't envision that shit. All I saw, man, and I'm gonna be honest, all I saw was dark corridors. I saw the guy. The lighting was very dark. It was not a proper way, right? That personally me now.
What do you mean dark corridors? It was just one piece of the little cargo.
They were in their ship, right? And he walked from the back to the front. That's what I'm talking about. That's all we have. The whole trailer was within that confined space. So obviously we couldn't see anything. We couldn't see anything. So that's why people are saying,
all right. You know, so when you have
can't really be excited for something that was just dark and they really didn't show it.
Well, but then you got to go by the previous footage we saw when they showed the big open land.
No, even then, the footage that they showed was the in-engine demo. They said that was not a representation at all of the game. That's what we can hope that it'll aspire to look like.
Jay, when it comes down to it, and people who know about computer technology, graphic technology, and stuff like that, and they're coming out and saying how demanding that scene that you're talking about, where you only saw dark corridors, really was. All right, so you're saying that screw all that what they said.
I'm gonna be honest. The first scene in God of War, when you booted up, the first scene, the very first scene with God of War on the screen, press the X button. That very first scene right there was more impressive than that Halo trailer.
I got you because you like that art style more.
And listen,
it's about art style too.
Listen, I like Halo, but this did not show me that. This did not look like, oh my God, I can't wait. This is gonna
shout out to King
does
Boo.
not look
Hold
like a next generation.
In the chat.
That
King
looked like
Boo in the
something
chat
that could run on the Xbox One.
Yo, King Boo in the chat said it looked cartoony. I hear what you're saying. What it is the color palette. It's a lot smoother. All right. And I'm being real. I would say this for any game. It's not just because it's Halo. I do my damnedest to make sure that, you know, just because I'm an absolute Halo fan, I try to look at things with an even keel all the time. All right. And that's one thing I know. The color palette is a lot smoother. It's a lot less like sharp as it was in previous Halos.
So if they would have had a brighter color palette, that would have been
a sharper contrast. When you look at it, because of the lighting and everything like that, a lot of the color looked to be more pastelish.
Okay. So that goes back to
saying?
Microsoft.
Listen,
that goes back to 343 and Microsoft.
We're talking about a game.
I'm just trying to inform people exactly what was going on.
The game ain't out yet? Who cares?
Why would you display your game when it's not in its finest showing?
They think that's one of the finest showings, man.
So who does that go back to? That goes back to the head, right? That goes back to the boss, the head boss. When Phil first saw that trailer, he should have said, "It looks good." But this is not going to shock any. This is not going to wow anybody.
The most impressive part of that trailer?
What?
When you saw the Halo ring outside, that was absolutely incredible.
You know, the most for me, the best part of the thing was when I actually saw Master Chief's helmet. Because that did something that says like, okay, I'm back. You know, I'm ready to rock.
Are you talking about the engine demo or the actual trailer?
The trailer.
Okay, when you saw him out in space.
Yeah.
The best part to me was they actually showed a game that's coming out like further down the road.
Yeah, well here's the thing. Unless it's Gears of War or apparently Halo, Phil won't show them, you know, like I don't get it. It's one of the things that, again, like harken back to what we're going to hear next year. Sony's going to go out there on the stage at E3 because they're going to be back, you know, and even if stuff isn't going to launch with the PS5, that like Horizon Zero Dawn 2 or whatever, they're going to show it off and they're going to announce it and people are going to be excited. And Phil's going to be like, here's another look at Halo, but gameplay this time.
Guys, I cannot wait until Halo is unveiled and
we are off of Halo.
Hey,
I'm sure,
hey, listen, I'm sure Halo will be fine.
I can't wait.
But then he's going to be like, and we're launching with Bleeding Edge, and he's going to put his hand up, and you're going to hear crickets because nobody cares about
Bleeding Edge. It's going to come out before Scarlet.
I think Bleeding Edge looks like an Xbox 360 game. So
well, it doesn't like you either. How about that?
I hope not, man. I wanted some bangers, man. Like, here's the thing. When the developers, like, this is how sort of the industry works. Developers, like independent developers, and they will come up with an idea and pitch said idea to various publishers so that publishers will fund their game, right? But what happened with Bleeding Edge? They probably pitched it to multiple publishers, and publishers were like, "We don't want that crap." And so that's where this thing gets called
probably in there, right?
Phil said, "I'll take it."
Exactly. Feels like I'll take it. That's why it's a passion project. Nobody wanted this game because these independent studios rely on making money, and they knew that this game wasn't going to make money. But Phil was like, "We need games desperately. What do you got?" And they're like, "Well, let me take this out of the trash. We got this Bleeding Edge game. It's kind of a AA brawler. We ripped off a couple different genres." Yeah, we'll take it. We'll sign it up. I can slap a snake oil sticker on it. It'll be fine.
That's not what they signed them for, brother.
Right out of the trash.
Who knows?
Phil said,
listen. I saw, and I get this, right? And I get this, right? Because I saw Noob Nukem. Shout out to him. Boom, boom, kaboom. He's like 15 studios. The games are coming. I hear this, right? The games are coming. When?
Hold on. Dual purpose. You might think Killzone Shadowfall look better than what you saw from Halo Infinite, but I can guarantee you, because I played Killzone Shadowfall, the gameplay mechanics were absolute trash.
Yes, it
was. That game is
but those graphics are undeniable.
Yeah, I mean, listen,
but fuck that. I don't give a shit.
They do.
That pretty. No, but that shit is hot.
I see Warrior Wart playing that game right now, and the screenshots do look great. But I gave up on that game very early because it was bad. It was super bad. Like I like Killzone 2. Killzone I didn't get that one. I even liked the one on the Vita. I thought was pretty damn good. But the Shadowfall one, I don't know. I wasn't a big fan of that at all. But you know, I also kind of want to point out some other stuff going on in the gaming world. This one's interesting because Death Stranding not listed as a PS4 exclusive. I guess Jada, we can go to you. What do you think about this? For me personally, like, people are making a big deal out of this. It was originally announced as a PS4 PC game, so I'm not exactly sure. Like, I personally don't care, but I guess this is a big point nowadays. Like, it might come to PC.
Listen, to tell you the truth, I hope it comes to PC. I hope, you know, I'll be able to play it on my PC as well as my PS4 Pro. So it's, to me, it's not a big deal. I don't care. I mean, at this point in time, I mean, Microsoft's whole library is pretty much available on the PC. I think, you know, a lot of people say this is the way that the future is going to go. This wouldn't shock me if it does end up on PC. Now, what would shock me if this particular game ends up on the Xbox or on the Switch?
It won't. It's using a Decima engine. That's a Sony engine. I don't,
proprietary engine.
Yeah.
But you know what? At the same time, Kojima is still an independent developer. He's still an indie.
Yeah.
He has an independent team. He's still an indie developer. And listen, once they sell, I can see them selling a shitload of these games. And after the sales slack up, I can see them go ahead and release on the PC to get some more sales going. Why not?
They'll probably release it on PC like 6 months after the fact.
Yeah, something like that. And Dave did that with a bunch of. I think the people are harping on that title, right? Because this kind of been a thing where you've seen some games say only on PlayStation on the actual box. Well, there are a lot of games, like including Street Fighter. It doesn't say only on PlayStation, even though it's only on that particular console. Yeah, sure, you can get it on the PC as well. So I don't know in the future where we're going to go with this whole stuff. You know, I thought the argument about what's truly exclusive is when it was actual console, whether it's console exclusive or if it's only to that platform and not on the PC. But now, since we're including the PC and all this stuff, so there's probably not really any true exclusives anymore, especially with the whole PS Now.
Jay, the whole reason the whole reason why people are making a big thing about it is because when it came to Microsoft and Xbox's first party, there's people out there on social media constantly. Well, I could play it on PC. It's not an exclusive. I can play it on PC.
Spencer is the one that said that, right? He said he don't care where you play it. That's why he's putting it everywhere.
Well, even before he said that,
he
said that, people would use that, and you know that console war drama out there and stuff like that, and people would use it. My whole thing at the end of the day, and you guys can say, you know, I'm full of shit or whatnot, but my whole thing is I look at PC gaming as a thoroughly different animal than console gaming. All right. So whether I don't care if the game is exclusive on PlayStation console or exclusive on Xbox console and it's on PC. That never meant anything to me. So even with this game, whether or not it goes to PC, it's not a big deal. In my mind, when it comes to the console gaming industry, this game is going to be exclusive to PlayStation.
It's a console exclusive, would still mean something. I get it. Like, that's how I always looked at it anyway. Like that's still like, no matter what. I mean, you can't play it on an Xbox or a Switch. You can only play it on a, like, I always looked at that as different things too. Yeah, when I talked to Albert Penello back when he still, or Penello, however you pronounce it,
I like
when
it. Penello,
yeah.
Penello.
When he still worked for Xbox, he was on Twitter and he was talking about how this was right around the time when Play Anywhere was announced, and he was like, our research shows that 95% of Xbox gamers play on the mobile and they play on the PCs. And I was like, bro, I don't play on mobile or PC, and nobody I know does either. He's like, I find that, me and him got in an argument about it. He's like, I find that hard to believe. I was like, you're making your console completely irrelevant. Like, but good luck with that, you know? And we know how that worked out. It didn't exactly work out great for him or whatever, but you know, Death Stranding, we're going to see more of it at Gamescom. But speaking of Gamescom, there's going to be announcements apparently from Microsoft and Sony there, according to Jeff Keighley. New announces. I beg you, Xbox people, do not get your hopes up. Please do not. You're not getting Fable announced. They're not going to announce any megatons. You're not getting any. They're not going to announce a new AAA game. You know, you're not getting anything like that. I'm sorry.
All right, yeah. You crazy, man.
You're getting an inside X. I'm just Xbot. You know how these people are,
brother. No, I hear you, dude.
I used to be one of them. I used to be one of those. I'd get really excited.
Dude,
right?
I used to tell you to keep your expectations.
Yeah,
low,
exactly.
Man.
And now we know that. You know, there's no need to get excited. In fact, Julia Hardy's hosting, so it's going to be this whole misogyny-free day. It's going to be great. But don't expect any big announcements or anything like that. They might have a couple new consoles for you.
I'm just curious who's going to host Inside Xbox.
It's going to be, I think, Major Nelson and Julia Hardy and Graham Boyd. Yeah, so that's
AC Bongos, baby.
AC Bongo. You think Ninja's going to head out there? I don't know, but. What do you guys expect to see from both Sony and Nintendo out here, or Sony and Microsoft? I expect maybe that they could actually come out and might see something like a Last of Us announcement for when it's going to release or something like that. But for Microsoft, I don't really see them doing anything.
Nintendo,
what about?
Well, if they have announcements, they're going to announce something, man.
What do you think they're going to announce?
I have no fucking idea. Like, I censored myself because I'm not sure like where we're going on your channel or whatnot, but I have no idea. But it's gonna cause me to really like. I was gonna tune in anyway to like Inside
Xbox. It like 8 a.m.
Something like that. But I'm up early anyway, bro.
Yeah,
like
it's in Cologne, Germany.
Yeah, so
that's a 5-hour difference from us. So
yeah, so I mean that's early. I don't know if I'll probably be working, so I might have to catch it afterwards. But I don't expect. I mean, I'll be on Twitter, so I'll be able to see the people go that we got up early for that. You know what I mean? Like, wow, another controller with soccer teams, amazing. You know, we might see.
Hold on. Are they like international, like World Cup soccer teams? I'm down. Because then I'm down.
Maybe they'll show Gears gameplay.
Hey, but no. Gears of War 5. The gameplay is scheduled for September 6th for the campaign.
I mean, they can always change it if
they can. I mean, they're going to have to make up that 5-minute period where Major Nelson was going to put on the white gloves and feel up the new Xbox.
Yo, brother, when it comes to that, man, and when it comes to that, going back to like the Gears 5, did you see how they marketed and promoted like the unboxing and stuff? Larry Herb was nowhere to be found. There was no white gloves. They they had a what you would call a professional unboxer from YouTube and a Gears like esports guy unbox that. I thought that was a great idea. They left Larry Herb at the retirement home with his white gloves. You know,
he retired. He's only 2 years older than you, but
dude, and look at the difference in how we look. I mean, seriously, like he's been through hell, man.
I've seen your muscle man picture. So
hey,
Yeah, you
could
like
you
that, right?
Could you
It's all
imagine?
natural.
Could you imagine the crap you got to put up with if you're Larry Herb? Like over the
He's
past
a mean
6
guy,
years,
too. He is a mean guy too.
I mean, he kind of, I don't know him personally, but he kind of has that like "don't touch me" vibe.
Dude,
You know what I mean? Like-
I've seen like you know, at E3, at different events, like, you know, because everybody has a camera on their phone, and I've seen some things where it's like as soon as the camera cuts off on Larry Herb, he's like, "Get the fuck away from me! I'm out of here."
Yeah.
Like,
Well, it's funny because we were doing a live show. I think we were doing M&C during the Xbox One X release, and we knew people that were in the New York thing where he was at, and we were asking him about him. He was like, "Yeah, when the cameras are rolling, it was real nice. As soon as they shut off, he was like, get away from me.
yeah,
You know, don't get near me." And then he like ran out and got in his car and left. So, you know, that's one of the things that you hear of. But yeah, like J-Dubs, are you expecting anything big from Sony?
of course he is. Come on, lay the list out, brother.
They're gonna have something now. Will they show like the release date for The Last of Us or something? I don't think so, because I think that game is so huge for them. They would want to do it at their own event, their own PSX or something like that, or you know, maybe one of their little shows that they have where they, you know, just show the trailers and a bunch of games and stuff like that. But it's possible. They will show some games. They're always releasing games and showing a bunch of stuff. Even at with China Joy, they show 15, you know, exclusives that they got coming. So there's all, you know, there's also games, but I think they're big games. I think they want to showcase them in a special fashion, and I don't know if Gamescom, because it would have made sense for them to do it prior to E3 or right after E3, to get the best feedback, to get that the biggest hype there. But I can see that, you know, who knows, they may announce a PSX this year. We don't know yet.
I can guarantee they're doing a PSX this year, man.
My thing with the whole PSX thing, I think that it would behoove them to hold PSX, don't show the console itself, but maybe announce it and show some stuff running on it, right? Mm-hmm. Like they did with the PS4. Because look, they did the PS4 thing in February of 2013, which was months ahead of Microsoft's in May. Why not jump ahead of that even? Then you have the showroom floor all to yourself for a number of months. Just be like, PS5, you don't even got to show the console. Just do what they did the last time, right? Here's some tech demos. Here's this. Here's a little sneak peek at what we're working on. And I think that would do wonders, because Phil Spencer, let's face it, will he ever have faith in his studios to show anything other than Halo or Gears that are longer than a year out? Like, I don't think he will. I don't think he's going to change suddenly and do that. So you're going to have what's considered the Dreams lineup on PlayStation 5, which will be all these great AAA titles, and then Phil Spencer coming to the stage hyping indies and, you know, another Halo game. And I like Halo and I like Forza and I like Gears, but I want other stuff too, like big AAA stuff. And he's got to learn to trust his developers. I heard that a lot, but we've already waited for.
Hey, I'm gonna be honest, bro. Those days are over. The days of the big blockbuster AAA, because those type of games does not fit into Phil Spencer's vision with games.
I don't agree.
He said it himself plenty of times, but like people just don't want to. People
that's how
they take what they want to hear from Phil, and then they dismiss everything else that they want to hear from that Phil is saying. Same way during that interview that he had with that one guy, I forgot what publication or whatever he was, but he did this hour-long video, and then you had Satya Nadella to come out and he did his interview, whatever. People take what they want to out of it. It makes no sense for them to invest, you know, millions and millions and millions of dollars into big blockbuster AAA that takes 4 to 5 years to come out, just to give it away for $1 or $9.
Dude, you're acting like one promotion. Yeah,
no, this is why, and he said it. This is why he's targeting indie and AA studios, so they can crank out 4 to 5 games a year. That's his motto. That's what he's trying to do. That's his words.
That's not the complete. But that's not the complete kind of like roadmap.
Show me something that says the alternate that you got the big blockbuster AAA coming. Show me something.
Brother, I will gladly after the unveiling of the launch lineups and everything like that. I will go live with you on my channel to discuss it, man. No doubt.
We gotta wait till next generation to.
I got Gears coming in what, September next month?
Yeah, but Gears. Cool. Gears is Gears. It comes out.
Yeah, I'm sick and tired of the excuse that Gears is Gears and Halo is Halo and Forza is Forza. Guess what? I have a blast.
We know we're gonna get those. We're not crying about Halo, Gears, and Forza. We know those things are gonna come like clockwork.
But I shouldn't be excited. So I
we got a schedule, right? Every gamer has a schedule saying this is when these games are going to release forever into the end of time. We know that. We're asking about stuff that's not Halo, Gears, and Forza, and that's going to be big blockbuster and AAA. That's what we want to see.
Yeah,
and I'm asking you to show me, give me that, tell me when that is coming and what game is it, when it's going to be here. And
Ninja
you're saying, well, just wait until Scarlet. You'll see, like
it's definitely coming next generation.
I mean, we don't know when, though.
No, absolutely, we don't.
It could be that we don't get if there's a mid-gen refresh. It could be that we don't get a true AAA new IP until the mid-gen refresh of next gen. That is a real possibility.
But it also could not be.
Maybe, but if you just look at the studios like Xbot or anybody on this panel, which studio that they have do you think has the best chance at delivering a new AAA IP?
Ninja Theory.
And when do you see them actually coming out with that? Because I don't see that before
for
2021.
a mid-gen refresh.
So 2021, 2022, maybe.
Maybe.
Okay. I mean, hold on. So if it came out in 2022, they wouldn't announce it till 2021, which would mean at the end of the day, you have to go 6 full years between an announcement of a new AAA IP from a Microsoft studio, which, if you think about it, an entire generation used to be about 5 years. So they're taking almost 2 whole generations to come out with new games.
When it comes down to it, like I look at this with optimism. I see
that.
I see the development teams that they have purchased and made first party. I see that most of these teams are working on multiple projects. All right. So I see a sign here that things are gonna get incredible going into next gen. I will never, no matter what. I expect Halo, I expect Gears, and I expect Forza. But do you know why I expect those? Because those are some of the foundations that I game on. All right.
No, but those
hold on. And to see them get better with every iteration. When it came to Halo 5 multiplayer, I swear to God, that is the best Halo multiplayer I have ever played.
What about the single player?
Huh?
What about
single player? I thought the story was okay, but they definitely could have done better. And I know they can do better because Halo 4's single player was phenomenal. Absolutely phenomenal.
You know what Xbox is missing, right? Because I like those franchises too, but I gotta admit, even as a Gears of War fan, this is the least hyped I've been, and I've seen other people be over a Gears of War game. Like, there's no commercial, there's no advertising, there's no nothing for it.
From your tweets and everything like that, you look like a scorned ex-girlfriend.
It's because Phil, man, it's Phil and company. Just they keep lying to me, man. There's only so much that you can take as a fan when they're sitting there saying, hey, we're going to do this, we're going to do that. And it's the same stuff. Like, where he's like, we're paying attention, we appreciate the feedback, we're going to really look into this. And then they never do anything. Or he's like, this E3 is going to be the biggest with better and more exclusives than ever, our best lineup ever. And then it's nothing.
Well, he says
right?
the best lineup ever. And in his opinion, he looks at the number of games that are shown on the Xbox. He has a different
number
idea.
of multiplats that are shown on the stage.
He doesn't care when it comes to a showing on a conference. All right, he wants to show the most games out there. He wants to have a fluid show that goes from game to game to game to game.
But basically, you're saying he don't care what the gamers want or whatever. It's the only thing that cares is the show. That's what you're saying.
Well, dude, see, I'm a gamer as well, right? right? We can all agree with. I'm a gamer, and I don't see anything half as dark as like what you see, Jay, or what Crap sees, or anything like that. But I'm a gamer as well.
Well,
right?
hold on.
So,
yeah, go ahead.
So when it comes down to it, you're like, yeah, he's completely ignoring the gamers. Well, when it comes to me, I see what they're actually doing.
But you have to look at you just have to look at the fans. All right, look, the Xbox 360 sold almost 90 million consoles. This one's at 26.5 million.
16,
like yeah. So you have to go, well, where did that fan base go? and listen, hold on, Sir X-Man says go on Microsoft's track record, please, for games, which he's right. Microsoft has the most approved with their games. Like, nobody's just gonna believe that they come out with a new game that is going to be good, even if it reviews good. Like, people are going to be skeptical because Microsoft's games have been crap. Even Phil Spencer himself.
If it gets a high score on Metacritic, it's not like that's it. No matter what happened in the past.
For me personally,
great Metacritic score.
Hey, for me personally, I would not believe that an Xbox game, even if it got a good Metacritic score, I would have to.
Was the end all be all?
Well, listen. It is a very good way to determine a good game, right?
Yes.
But when it comes to Microsoft, they've been very suspect with their games. So I would not trust that. I would have to play it myself. And people are going to be like that as well, because let's face it, you go with Crackdown or State of Decay 2 or Sea of Thieves, which I like, but Recore, you got these games. Like, how in the hell do you, as a company that's $1 trillion company, ship these games that rate in the 50s and 60s like that? I will never understand that.
Here's another way to look at this, right? Hold on. Here's another way to look at this. Take the console out of it. Just look at Microsoft as just the producer of games, right? Look at the games they've come out with and tell me if that lineup is something that you would want, if you'd be happy with from anybody, any other company like EA or Ubisoft or something like that. Would that group of games they've come out with in the past 2 or 3 years, would that satisfy you from that company?
No.
When it comes down to it, I am one of the few.
Answer the question.
When it comes to Crackdown, I was absolutely happy with the story.
He loves Crackdown.
The campaign. All right. When it came to the multiplayer, that's when everything fell flat. All right. So on that note, I like Crackdown as a story. When it comes to Sea of Thieves, I would have been disappointed spending $60 on that game in the beginning. All right. But to see exactly how much more content they have put into that game from the time it has launched, and seeing other games like Rainbow Six Siege, who didn't come out with a lot of content in the beginning, but stuck in there and kept putting out new content and making the game better, the same way that Rare is doing with Sea of Thieves. Yeah, I would have no problem with that.
Ubisoft was mastered that though.
But how is it okay for Rainbow Six to come out with no content like that?
Rainbow Six,
work hard, and within a couple of years had that game running on all cylinders. And when it comes to Rare and Sea of Thieves, it only took 1 year compared to the couple for Rainbow Six Siege, and Rainbow Six gets a pass for that.
It's a shooter.
When it comes to Sea of Thieves,
yeah, but Rainbow Six is a shooter, and its foundation was still a million times better than what Sea of Thieves had there on launch day, my dude.
Yeah, it's an easier sell. I say that, maybe if that's biased or not. I like Sea of Thieves, but look, you admitted it yourself. The Kraken was lacking, right? The Kraken was lacking, right? It was missing.
You know what's funny about that? Like the water underneath the Kraken goes black. Right, goes absolutely black, and you're dealing with the tentacles. It took somebody who got launched from their ship and looking at the water at a certain angle to see that like there was nothing after the tentacles.
Hey, are you admitting, bot? Are you admitting, bot, that if they would have crunched a little, they could have actually had some kind of Kraken in the water?
Kraken with a pentagon.
No.
Is that what you're saying, Xbot?
No, not at all.
Oh, okay. Okay.
No,
let's talk about.
It's like in Dying Light when you go onto like a cliff or something like that, and you see one of the rocks is actually missing. Like you see, like there's a huge void where the graphic should be, or something like that. And like I saw that, I laughed at it, and then I kept playing the game. It wasn't a big deal to me, man.
Games and Animation says Xbox streamer Abella Danger just said she will get Gears of War 5 before you. How do you respond? Hey, good luck. Have fun. That's how I respond. So enjoy.
He don't
Mazel tov.
care anymore, man.
Mazel tov. I hope it's good. I hope it's good. I honestly, I do. I hope it's really good. Let's talk about this. Microsoft, they pay for a lot of different things, you know, like Ninja, the streamer from Twitch. Now he's an official Xbox streamer for Mixer. Again, you know, there's different varying reports. I don't know. They obviously had to pay him millions. So I don't know if we'll ever know the exact amount.
And it's paying off for the Mixer platform right now. There's so many people going from Twitch over the Mixer right now. It's insane.
What's funny is when you go view Twitch or Mixer, you see him streaming and it's like 59,000 people watching. The next biggest one is like 2,500. You know what I mean? So it's not like Twitch where you got multiple people with like 50,000, 70,000 people watching.
Been around a lot longer to establish.
I know.
Ninja is #1 right now on Mixer streamers, just so you know.
Who?
Ninja. He's the #1 streamer.
Of course, he's like the biggest name that is on Mixer right now.
#1. He got overtaken in like a week.
Well, I mean, what do we think about this? Do we think maybe, like, obviously games are quote unquote coming, but
Are you eating on your own show, dude?
yeah, sorry. I need a little bit of something to pick me up, but yeah. So what do you guys think about that? Ninja, should we have maybe they'll announce this, they'll announce games or consoles 3 years out, but no games. That's the part that gets to me.
Yeah.
Obviously games might be coming, but they won't announce them. Like we get 3 hardware announcements in 3 years and no new AAA IP announcements in 4, but we get a Ninja announcement. Like, and I thought they were against the term Ninja to begin with. So they hired this guy who calls himself Ninja.
Yeah.
And, you know, didn't Phil speak out about that a while ago, right? No ninjas or rock stars or something. So, I mean, what do you guys think? I mean, I this money probably could have been better spent, I guess.
Right. The amount of money that they spent on him is puzzling because that money could have funded about at least 4 to 5 to 6 big blockbuster AAA games. And so they decide to spend the money elsewhere. So we know where their priorities lie, right? And I get it. People are gonna say, "Oh, but this was in the Mixer budget. This was in." Shut up! Stop it! It's the world's richest company, right?
Yeah,
you can't say, okay, well that means they're gonna skimp and make the Xbox, you know.
It was a
portion of their main business. It was they're gonna skimp that and make that like that's just a stepchild. Come on, man. This is a business. We've all bought into these console, the ecosystem and everything. Support it as such, and that's all we're asking for. But when you go and buy a Twitch streamer, then you just kind of scratch your head. Well, I thought.
Well, when is Sony gonna sign a big name to their streaming platform?
You know what? They got YouTube. That
they don't have their own streaming platform.
They don't need. They have 100 million plus people. That's your end all, right? You're just like 100 million. 100 million. That's all you have. Over 100 million people and counting. Because think about it, when I'm going to tell you this, 99.9% of the diehard Xbox guys now will be a PlayStation gamer next generation. Come day one, it's going to be a slaughter fest.
It
will. And you're going to be in line buying the PS5 too.
Oh, you got that contract?
I got that contract.
I got a little brown color put on that contract for you, brother.
Maybe you're gonna be wearing it.
Microsoft seal of quality.
Hey, the official Phil Spencer seal of quality signs off on it. He's like, hey, there's a little Phil in all these games. Believe me. He leaves his. Hey, I saw something in the chat. Obi-Wan says "Fearmonger Nation." Fear-mongering apparently is the new buzzword for people that think differently than sunshine and rainbows all the time. I'm sorry, but that's not fear-mongering.
When you go and you say the new Gears limited edition console looks decent, when it's something we've never.
Hey, but I did a video yesterday that said it looked great. It was the best looking one.
I watch it. Dude, anytime like you go live or something like that, and I don't
sunshine and rainbows, brother. Sunshine and rainbows.
Yeah.
I don't read the title. I'll watch your video.
Yeah, and I thought it was really good, right? I thought it was. Neil Smith says, "Crap, please change your name to podcast to Flip Flop Nation." I didn't flip flop. How many times I gotta say this? I went with Xbox One over PS4 because it had exclusive games more so, and ones that I was looking forward to more so. They announced stuff like Titanfall, new IP, Sunset Overdrive, new IP. the hell else did they have?
Recore.
Yeah, Recore. Well, no, not Recore. I'm talking about at the launch. They brought back Killer Instinct. They had Dead Rising 3. It looked really good. That's why I bought an Xbox One. Microsoft was like, oh, we're going to do this. Nope, we're doing this. Now we're games. Now we're this. Now I'm going to talk about Sony and Nintendo at our press conference and how great they are. And, not going to invest in our first party or make games for 5 years. That's why I play PlayStation more. It's simple as that. It's simple as that. It's simple as that. So,
hey guys, I'm sorry to cut you off, but I got to run real quick.
Okay.
So,
well, we only got about 10 more minutes anyway, but we appreciate you coming in here, man. I appreciate that.
Thanks, everybody.
No problem.
See you later.
We'll catch you guys later.
Peace.
So, yeah.
Well,
see you, Jay. But, yeah, just what I'm saying is, for my point of view anyway, it's not fear-mongering, because when I bring up a point, like they haven't announced a new AAA game since 2015, that's not fear-mongering. That's just the facts. That's the truth.
But, brother, what they're saying is when you bring it up every single day,
I feel like everybody
it's not going to change anything.
Well, here's the thing. Every podcast that does Xbox content owes it to themselves and to Xbox fans to start and end their podcast by bringing it up every single time. I just like to start this by saying, hey, Microsoft, if you're watching, please announce some AAA games. You're losing more and more people. You've already went from 26.5 million to, you had 90 million last gen. You're down to 26.5 million. You're going to get it. You can't take another cut that big, right? You cannot, you can't take that. You know what I'm saying? Like they'd be negative. They'd be negative people in sales. You can't do that. You've got to appeal to your gamers. Like, even if you don't like it, Xbox, doesn't Sony hype up their fans and get people excited for their content and their consoles?
The fans hype up their fans, like.
Don't you? Why can't it? Xbox fans are never like that, because there's nothing to be hyped up about for Xbox.
That's not true. Like when games did come out this generation, unfortunately, there was a part of the Xbox community that got wrapped up in certain narratives that were being spun at that point in time, and they didn't support games that were actually good. If you look past how many pixels that you're seeing and stuff like that on your screen, the games were actually good. But because they got caught up in that narrative, they didn't support those games either.
Listen, but that was already on top of Microsoft's own problems, though. They shot themselves in the foot. They were the ones that were like,
I never said that they didn't. In the beginning of the generation, all that good stuff. Yeah. And that's one of the reasons why, be it right or wrong, or what you might think about it, but that's one of the reasons why they are out there on social media. When they tried to pull a whole 180 and tried to get people back to at least thinking about Xbox, their whole thing was, we're touchable. You can reach out to us on social media and stuff like that.
See, but those are the things they had
in the community.
Those are the things they had to spin, though. They had nothing else, my dude. You know what I mean? And then they went to Satya with this proposal for this plan, for this vision of this. This wasn't their original vision in the direction that they're going. And like Crap said earlier, nobody's fear-mongering anything. The truth is the truth, bro. Jay said it earlier. Listen, the direction that they're going in, they're letting you know what they're trying to do. And in all honesty, making those great AAA titles, they're not gonna new ones anyway. I don't see them doing that, man, going forward. Maybe one, if anything. I see them making AA smaller titles that they could throw in Game Pass.
They're gonna live
so they could further that initiative, my dude. I know they're not gonna live on it, but that's what they want. That's the push they're making.
They want what they call a range of
games. And you need to offer these people games. You gotta offer the mobile market games. You gotta offer PC gamers games. Wherever you want to stream this stuff. Okay, so how are you gonna do it? You're gonna offer them a game. You're gonna offer them a game every 6 years. A AAA title? No. You're gonna go offer them smaller shit that you can come out every 2 to 3 years.
With all the here's the deal, Knox. With all the studios that they got, right? They only have one studio working on a game right now. As soon as they're done with that, then the next studio is up running, working on a game. There's no way in hell that's going on like that.
But listen, like you got to realize that, and at least realize the fact that a few of their studios are stuck making multiplats right now. including
They're
Obsidian.
finishing up multi.
Yeah, which means they're not going to start until they're shipped.
Dude, if you know anything about game development, they constantly overlap projects. When they're finishing
I
up
understand
one,
that, but
they already have one.
Even if they're
and
overlapping them, though, they still got to finish
They
the game they
yeah,
have,
they
and then
s-
you won't see those games for like another couple of years.
Yeah, like that's what I'm saying. So if they're and they're not gonna take, like, let's say Obsidian, like they've already said 95% of their staff is working on Outer Worlds, right? They have another percentage of staff working on Pillars of Eternity 2 DLC, and then they have other staff just R&Ding stuff. So they haven't even started, or they just are now starting something.
Yeah, that's one dev team.
I know, that's what I'm saying though, but they're one of the ones that I think most people had faith in because they can create a AAA game, right? And AAA games take 4 to 5 years. So if they can't even start making their next AAA game until maybe the start of next year, you're looking at 2024.
Dude, I just got accused of being a double agent in the chat.
Double agent. Hey, hit that like button if you think Xbot is a double agent. Hit the like button if you think Xbot's a double agent. Hit that like button right now.
Likes aren't going to go up. They don't think I'm a double agent.
Oh, I think we're going to see that go up quite a bit. We're at 153. I'd be surprised if we didn't get a lot more than that. Double agent Xbot. We'll see. We'll see, Xbot. But listen, in Exile, they're working on 3 projects. A VR game that might be PC exclusive. They're working on. Somebody hit the dislike button. Wow. Yeah. So they're working on a VR game and 2 multiplats. You also have
Also an unliked.
yeah, you have one, like, nobody thinks Xbox a double agent. Okay, then I might agree with that. But anyway, so then you also have Double Fine working on a couple of multiplats. I think In Exile is a very much a wild card, but we're probably 4 years out from them. We're probably 2-3 years out from Fable. We are significantly far away from any kind of content from these first-party studios. I feel like that's something that Microsoft needs to sort of bolster with some other announcements, in my opinion.
Down to it, we don't know what's going on at the initiative. And again, crap, this is one thing that we do agree on. No, I was going to actually say more, but I just want to throw it out there again for the people in the chat one more time. Me and Crap agree when it comes to Phil Spencer and his idea of not showing games that are like, 18 months, like all these shows are games that are like 18 months away from coming out and stuff like that.
Yeah.
I disagree with that. I disagree with that strategy. I feel like you need to put even teases with like names of games, quick little CGI things at conferences and stuff to get people hyped up, knowing that there's life beyond a year and a half on the platform.
Yeah.
I agree with that with Crap. But with that being said, we don't know with the project when it comes to the initiative, how far along that is. We don't know when it comes to Ninja Theory. They basically had Bleeding Edge done technically, the foundations, the wireframe, everything like that. You said that they, were possibly, shopping it around to other publishing companies before they became first party. Yeah. So that game was really long into development, and they are working on another single player game as well, which is a more traditional Ninja Theory type game. The single player experience, melee combat, all that good stuff.
Hopefully it's not Hellblade 2.
Why a full budget Hellblade? You wouldn't like that?
No, looking puzzles, that game sucked. That
Okay.
game was terrible. Not my bag at all. So sorry.
All right, I got you. But you got them working on something as well, and then like people like to toss like the 3 kind of like foundations of the games, but you have 343 Coalition, you have Turn 10 Playground is also working on that worst kept secret RPG that they're working on as well.
Yeah.
So like there are things in the pipeline that make, when I look over there, I don't see, that gloomy darkness that a lot of people talk about. I'm like, man, there's stuff coming down the pipeline. I'm getting excited.
Yeah, no problem. I think somebody just said their thing. Just rebooted. Knox his computer just shut down. That's great. We're gonna do some outros anyway. J-Dubs, Kratos, he had to leave a little bit ago. We appreciate him. Mooch will be back next week. Knox,
you can find J-Dubs at Yoshida's house. He has a special apartment in the backyard.
Knox, he's doing pretty good, pretty neat. Pred, what do you got going on, man?
Next podcast this weekend, pretty much nothing. I'll be on the Division this week. If anybody catching me online, Predator space H2S on Xbox, PlayStation, MySpace, and Tinder. And I'll catch you guys gaming later on this week.
And Xbox, what do you got going on?
Brother, the usual, man. Every Saturday, 7 p.m. is the next podcast on my YouTube channel. If you haven't checked it out yet, it is called Xbot 448. Who would have thought? Go over there, check out my content. You know, while you're there, if you like what you see, definitely hit that subscribe button. We are going live Saturday with the next podcast. I cannot wait. I have some topics lined up. I haven't even shared it in the DM yet. This show is going to be fire this coming Saturday.
Slide into the DMs is going to be great. And I want a special shout out to Sully, who did a hard day of work and then managed to put this show together and run it for me while I'm still learning the ins and outs of OBS. Really appreciate it, man. I wouldn't be able to do this without you. Thank you so much. I know his mic is muted. There he is. Knox, pretty good, pretty neat. How you doing, Knox? We're doing outros.
Oh man, yeah, my bad, bro. I don't know what the hell happened. My computer just restarted on its own, bro. Fucking Windows update, man. Fucking Microsoft, bro. Seriously.
What do you got going on, Knox?
Oh man, nothing much, man. Just fucking working, chilling here, man. You know, just doing the do, bro.
Appreciate it. And with that, we will catch you guys next week. Please like the video, share it out. We will catch you later. Rack them up and all that good stuff. Have fun gaming. Later.
Peace.
Later.